The desolation of day 1158. Day 1158 marked the beginning of the end. It was a day that would forever be etched in the memories of Daniel and Sophie, the only remaining survivors in their desolate corner of the world. The world they once knew had long been reduced to ashes, the earth invaded and decimated by an alien race. The invaders had come without warning, without remorse. Their ships had descended like a swarm of locusts, blotting out the sun and casting an ominous shadow over the world. They had come for Earth's resources, and they would stop at nothing to get what they wanted. For 1158 days, Daniel and Sophie had managed to survive, taking refuge in an abandoned tower block that had miraculously remained standing amidst the carnage. Every day, they watched in horror as the alien ships drilled massive holes into the earth, extracting the precious resources buried deep within its core. As night fell, the aliens would leave, their ships disappearing into the sky like a swarm of fireflies. In their stead, they left behind robot drones to patrol the desolate streets, programmed to kill any human they encountered. Each night, Daniel would go out and search for supplies in the rubble of buildings that once stood. Every night was a struggle. The robots had no set pattern of movement, and they were very aware. Even the slightest sound would grab their attention. Despite the intelligence of the robots, Daniel always came back with food. Despite the bleak existence they had been forced to endure, Daniel and Sophie had managed to find solace in each other's company. They shared tales of their past, dreams of a future that would never come to be, and the grim reality of their present situation. Together, they held on to the faintest glimmer of hope that one day they might find a way to reclaim the Earth from their alien oppressors. As day 1158 dawned, Daniel and Sophie peered out from their makeshift window, the shattered remnants of glass offering a panoramic view of the desolate landscape that stretched out before them. What they saw that day, however, was something they had never expected to see again. People. A large group of people had gathered in the distance, huddled together as if seeking comfort in the company of others. Without a second thought, Daniel and Sophie grabbed their meager belongings and hurried down the crumbling staircase, their hearts pounding with a mixture of excitement and trepidation. As they reached the ground floor, Daniel and Sophie hesitated, unsure of whether to trust their eyes. Were these people really human? Or were they more of the aliens' sinister creations? Could it be possible that others had managed to survive this long, hidden away from the eyes of their tormentors? Despite their doubts, the need for human contact was too strong. Daniel and Sophie pushed open the heavy doors of the tower block and stepped out into the open, their hearts pounding in their chests. As they approached the group, they noticed something off about the people. Their movements were slow and robotic, their faces void of emotion. It wasn't until they got closer that they realized the horrible truth. These weren't people at all, but lifelike decoys, created by the aliens to lure out any remaining humans. Suddenly, the ground beneath their feet began to shift, the earth rumbling and splitting open. Out of the fissures emerged grotesque, mutated creatures that were once human, their bodies twisted and contorted by the alien invaders' experiments. They had been hiding in wait, using the fake humans as bait to lure out survivors like Daniel and Sophie. Terrified, Daniel and Sophie attempted to flee, but they were quickly surrounded by the snarling, mutated creatures. As they backed up against one another, they realized that their escape was impossible. "This is it, isn't it?" Sophie whispered, her voice barely audible over the guttural growls of the mutants. Daniel took her hand, squeezing it tightly as he stared down the monsters. "If we're going to die, we'll die together. At least we won't be alone." As the mutants closed in, the couple steeled themselves for their imminent death, pulling each other in closer than ever before. When you subscribe, be sure to click the notification bell. Click here for more true scary stories.